this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. Let's get started. I might change it up. I might put a different label on it, but I'll go ahead and show you. I'm just using two ink pads, Starry Sky and Parakeet Party. I'm using the Nature's Prints stamp set and the Nature's Prints dies. I'm using this stamp, and then the sentiment, You're on My Mind. Okay, and then from the dies, I'm using this die, these two dies. This label is what I think I'm going to try, and this label that I used on this one is from Painted Labels. It's the one with the poppies. Okay. For cardstock, I have a scrap of white to stamp the ferns and the flower on. I have this piece here, which is die cut from this die out of the Starry Sky. This is cut up from this die out of white. I have a 1.5 inch strip of white, a 1 3/4 inch strip of black. It's by 5.5 inches long, both of those. This one should be less than that. I'm going to need to trim that down. And then this is 2 inches. I have another scrap piece just in case I need it. And then this is the Sahara sand color. Standard card base for US, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, and let's get started here. Let's start by stamping. So move these out of the way. I need this piece and this piece, and I need a piece of scratch paper. And I gotta push things up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And this needs to be a 1/4 inch shorter, so let me do that before I get started. This needs to be 5 1/4 inches. Okay. The black piece is just going to be just a smidge shorter. Just a smidge. It's like a 1/16 of an inch. Okay. Alright, and let's start by bringing in the Parakeet Party. Oh, and I'm going to be using a blender pen. Parakeet Party ink and the fern. And I'm going to stamp one fern here. I'm going to turn it, stamp another fern here. I'm going to turn it, stamp another fern here. And I'm going to fill in just a little bit there, just so there's something in those blank spaces. Okay. Then on my scrap paper, let's use this one. I need 3 ferns. Got a halo there because I stamped too hard, but we're going to cut it out, so it's fine. Okay. We're done with this color of ink. Let's bring in the Starry Sky and this little flower. And on this piece, I'm going to stamp one of these flowers down here. Oh, I I just messed it up. Well, turn it over. Clean this off. Ink all over the edge. I definitely pushed too hard. It's a fresh ink pad. I haven't used it much. I'll start again. Let's clean this one off while we're at it. Alright. Luckily it's easy stamping, doesn't take long. Okay. Now let's try the flower again. Try not to over ink it. Might need to trim it. I just need to tap lighter. See, I don't have the ink on the edge now. Okay, so I'm going to stamp one here. I did get ink on the edge that time though. Might have to trim this edge off. I'm just taking my chamois and cleaning off that edge. I'll try not to push too hard. I'm going to stamp one here. Turn it again. I'm going to stamp one here. Turn it one more time. Stamp one down here. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my scrap paper. I'm going to stamp one on there. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in my, I'm going to close this. I'm going to need it again for my sentiment, but bring in my blender pen. I'm just going to pull that ink from the center. Just add a little bit of color onto these petals of this flower. I'm not using any additional ink, just the ink that is on there. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to bring in those dies. I'm going to cut these out. Set this piece aside. And I will be right back. Okay, I've got all those pieces cut out. I need to bring this piece in. And I see how there's different leaves on here. I need two of these ferny sections. So I'm going to bring in my snips. There's one here. So let's just clip this one here. And I'm going to clip it right here. Okay, so there's one piece. I'm going to clip this piece here. And I just made this piece, cut that piece off there. There's that piece. And then I need this other fern, so I just cut it here. Let's snip this off. And I don't need all this extra. I'll just leave it on. It'll be underneath, but okay. And then let's bring in this sentiment, or this piece, so we can stamp our sentiment. But I think I'm going to try this one. I already stamped it just to see if it would fit. And this is from the same die set, so you would only need the one set. Awesome. Alright. So now I can assemble this card. I'm going to adhere this piece to the black layer first. I'm just going to use my Tombow Mono multi-glue. I'm going to mount this to the, this is Granny Apple Green, by the way. You could use the Parakeet Party, but I only had a little bit of it, and this matches pretty well, so I'm going to bring that black layer up so there's just a hint of green showing on either end. Okay, then I'll flip this over and put dimensionals on the back of it. Alright, and then I'm going to mount that to the front of the card about half an inch from the fold. I might do this card this way as well, so you can see that you can do different approaches. I'm going to tuck these leaves in here. A couple going this way. One going this way. And let's glue those in. Sorry for the sirens. So glue on the back. Glue that one in. These two overlap a little bit, but this one here. Goes down this way. Okay, now these, I'm going to take one of these, glue on the back. And one's going to go sticking out this side, like that. One of the ferny ones, the other ferny one, is going to go sticking out the bottom this way. Like that. This one will go at the top. Like that. A little hanging over the edge there a little. Okay, and then this would go on here, like that. And then your flower would go like this. If I did it that way. In fact, I think I will, because I kind of like it. And let's put a couple dimensionals on the back of this. Before I glue this on, though, I want to try to see what this one would look like. You could put that way like that. You see a little bit more of that layer. Or if we did it this way. That looks nice too. so it gives you different options. But I think this one I'm going to do this way. Just because I kind of like it. Like that. Some glue on the back of this. There you go. There's the card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously, going the other direction. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.